How I Fell in Love with My Corper Teacher. Episode 12. The debate took place on a Thursday afternoon under a sky that felt too bright for anyone trying to hide. The entire senior class was packed into the assembly hall. Benches scraped against the floor as everyone squeezed in, the air thick with heat and curiosity. I sat with my classmates, my hands folded tightly in my lap, just listening as they called out the names of the debaters. Then my name was called. My breath caught in my throat. I stood up slowly, feeling every single eye in the hall turn toward me. I risked a glance across the room, and that's when I saw Mr. Adiot. He lifted his head, but he didn't look surprised at all, and honestly, that unsettled me more than anything else could have. I walked to the front, my legs surprisingly steady, even though my heart was making a racket in my chest. The topic was written boldly on the board. It was familiar. Something I knew I could handle. Still, my mouth felt as dry as dust. When it was finally my turn to speak, the hall grew quiet. It wasn't an expectant silence, though. It was more uncertain. People didn't expect much from me. Over the years, I had trained them not to. I began softly. At first, my voice trembled, just a little, betraying the nerves I was trying so hard to hide. I gripped the podium and forced myself to continue, making sure not to rush my words. Sentence by sentence, something inside me steadied. I stopped thinking about the room, about the faces staring at me. I started to speak about fairness, about restraint. I talked about how silence can sometimes look like obedience, but over time it slowly becomes erasure, making you disappear. As the words flowed out, I felt this strange sense of release. It was as if I wasn't just holding myself together anymore, but finally allowing myself to be seen for who I really was. The entire time, I didn't look at him. I couldn't, but I could feel him listening. I just knew it. When I finished, the hall was silent for a beat too long. Then applause started to rise. It wasn't loud or wild, but it was sincere. You could feel it. I walked back to my seat, my heart pounding against my ribs, my face warm. Only then did I dare to look up. Mr. Adebayo's eyes met mine from across the hall. He gave me a single nod. Nothing more, nothing less. Before that day, I had always believed that my feelings for him lived in the things I didn't say, in the quiet looks, in the careful distance I maintained. But standing up there, speaking so openly, I understood something new. My feelings for him had been shaping my voice long before I even noticed. They had sharpened my thoughts. They had pushed me forward when fear would have kept me glued to my seat. He hadn't taught me what to say. He never did. But he had taught me that my voice mattered, and that simple fact made everything so much more complicated. That evening, as I replayed the entire debate in my mind, I realized the shift had already happened. I wasn't just reacting to my feelings anymore. I was carrying them openly, in my words, in the newfound confidence I felt, in the very way I now occupied space. that. And as a quiet sense of pride settled in right next to that familiar longing, one truth stood out, clear and unmovable. I didn't just want him to hear me. I wanted him to know that my voice had changed and that he was a big part of the reason why. To be continued. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for the next episode.